What is going on, everybody? There was a huge trade today in the MLB. Corbin Burnes is now an Oriole. The Orioles and the Milwaukee Brewers make a huge trade. Baltimore receives Corbin Burnes and sends D.L. Hall, a second-round pick, which would be the 34th overall draft pick in this upcoming draft, and Joey Ortiz, sorry. Ortiz, what was I thinking? This is huge. This is an all-in move for Baltimore. They just got a new owner, and here they go. They go out and get one of the best pitchers in the MLB, getting a former Cy Young winner, just a couple years ago a Cy Young winner, a consistent all-star, and this is an interesting trade, in my opinion, for the Brewers. I know they didn't want to pay him. They've been trying to trade him all offseason, but I don't know, man. You're going to probably end up winning the Central. Maybe not now that you moved him, and you're going to end up having the Reds are going to be a little bit more competitive. Maybe the Cubs are going to be more competitive. It just feels like a weird move, in my opinion. I don't love it. Personally, if I'm a Brewers fan, I'm kind of pissed off because you just traded away one of the best players on my team for not much. I mean, you know, they're solid prospects. I know D.L. Hall had a lot of expectations coming into the league that he has just not quite lived up to with Baltimore. And for Baltimore, this is a great trade, in my opinion. You trade away guys you're not going to use. They didn't need Joey or Ortiz. They didn't need D.L. Hall if they're going to get a Corbin Burnes. Let's be honest here. And now it looks like, hey, this new ownership, we mean business. I know they don't technically own the team quite yet, I don't believe, but making this move shows that, hey, we're here. We want to win. This is all a move. This was the 1 seed last year. Now they add in one of the best pitchers in the game. So this is a huge decision and huge move by the Baltimore Orioles. And for Milwaukee, I mean, you know, D.L. Hall might do something for you. We were using him as a bullpen guy because he just wasn't that great as a starter. So for them, I don't love this trade because you kind of didn't get a ton for it. I know Joey Ortiz was also a top 100 prospect, I believe, last year. I'm not sure if he is this year, but he was not as good as people said he was, to be honest with you, because, like, he never showed those moments. I don't even know if he ever really came to the MLB as a top 100 prospect on a team that was kind of just building around prospects over the last few years. He never made that appearance. I mean, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't think this trade was very good for Milwaukee. I feel like this is borderline a cap dump. They got a little bit of talent back. They got guys who were top prospects that they could end up developing. And if you're Baltimore, Mike Ellis just made a crazy trade. This dude might be one of the best GMs in baseball history at the rate he's going. If he could turn this team into like a dynasty or something, that would be like, they got to make a new documentary. Forget Moneyball, forget Oriole Ball or something. I mean, this dude, he has built a team with #1 farm system over the last few years. They have had the #1 guy in the last 3. And now you add in the best pitcher in the game on top of the other studs that you have out there with Mullins and Santander and all those other dudes who are playing out of their minds for you last year. And now you add in the best pitcher in the game for basically nothing that affects you. Who cares? Now, yes, that draft pick could have meant something. It was the 34th overall pick, so it's going to be a decent player. I mean, Gunnar Henderson was drafted in that general range just a few years ago, so that player could be pretty good. But at the other end of the spectrum is they're not going to be as good as Corbin Burnes, most likely. They're just not going to be. I think this is an A+ for the Orioles. I love this trade. I think it works out perfectly. It's better than the Jack Flaherty one they pulled off last year just before the playoffs, but that was with cheapsake John Angelo at the helm. And now I feel like we're going to have ownership that wants to win. They're Baltimore natives. And they got Cal Ripken Jr. involved. I mean, this is looking good for the Orioles. And for Milwaukee, I say it's a C. I mean, you got decent players back. You moved them off. But it just feels like you kind of wanted to force this. Now, the only thing I will say, Corbin Burnes is 29. But this was the 1 seed last year. You are committing to all in. Jackson Holliday is probably going to come up to the majors. He might not start the season. He'll get up there by May. I mean, he'll be in the major leagues by May. I guarantee it, he will be in the major leagues by May. And now you add Corbin Burnes. This Orioles team has to be one of the favorites to go all the way this year. Leave a like, hit that follow button, and tell me what you guys think down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.